From the fans and all the players, talking to them in the summer, it made you really excited for the season to start.
It still hasn't fully sunk in, but it's kind of nostalgic because we go to the arena and we both grew up going to that arena and our family is always there. I feel like we still feel like we're dreaming or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022-23 Ottawa Senators.
I want to play hockey as long as I can, and the boys to kind of grow up and kind of realizing a little bit more like how cool this is and see how happy they are and how I tell them that I'm playing hockey tonight, and just the excitement they get, that stuff is just priceless.
Claude Giroux in, feeds it back and score! Claude Giroux scores in his Ottawa Senators home debut!
You know, it's not a bad record, 4-6-0, but it's a little frustrating for fans of Ottawa Senators. I saw Giroux was really good against Tampa. He and Brady Tkachuk showed great leadership in the game, but they lost all the same. What do you think about Claude, Jen?
Well, I think we anticipated him coming into Ottawa and being such a good influence on the young, talented players. But what we saw with that feature, too, is just a reminder on how excited and happy he is to be there. And I think for a lot of players, too, sometimes it's just such a powerful reminder to remember the joy in the game. And he talked about his kids and sort of living through their eyes can be something that just fuels you to such a high level.
He had a great tenure in Philly. And Kelly, you and I argued about this one night. Some guys don't ever want to play for a Canadian team, and some do.
Right.
And clearly he wanted to play for a Canadian team in his hometown and hear the buzz like he talks about. So it was a no-brainer for Ottawa to bring him back as well.
And Cam Talbot plays. First start of the season, coming back from an injury. This is huge because in this month, Ottawa has 12 remaining games they have to get on a roll.
Gavin and Palmer, Claude's kids there, by the way, by the glass. The late Gord Downey. Gord Downey and Bob Rock open hockey night next.
November 11th, the most unforgettable day of the year. A message from the Government of Canada.
Rated mature.
We need an army.
We can get us an army.
No one fights alone.
Available now.
PlayStation.
You don't want to miss the thrill of the win with McDonald's Coast to Coast Monopoly. There's still lots of amazing prizes.
Of Hockey Night in Canada in association with the NHL and Sportsnet.
From the deluge.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet.
You want action? We've got action for you here tonight.
Oh, did you see that? What a performance.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Oh, baby. What a play. What a goal. He's got a step. He's in alone. Here's a chance for Crosby. He scores. Absolutely amazing.
The late Gord Downie, wasn't that unbelievable? Bob Rock, the producer who did Metallica, The Hip, The Cult, Michael Bublé, Bryan Adams, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, you name it. Bob, for you to add the horns, and he did the music. Gord, of course, gave us the lyrics. He always said, Gord Downie, like canned peaches, words will last if they're good enough. And how often do you find yourself saying, gee, I wish what Gord would have to say about what's happening today? God love you, Gord Downie. So that was nice. The song's called Luster Parfait from a forthcoming album. You can see we're on the air tonight from Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. 3 excellent games. Later this evening, the Nashville Predators at Van, New Jersey, into Calgary. Good evening. Welcome to Hockey Night in Canada. Plenty of news, and we'll come to that as we go through the night tonight with Kelly Rudy, Jennifer Botterill, Kevin Bieksa, for 2 Canadians that are part of us. Big weeks turning back the clock. Let's begin with the great Brian McFarland. Absolutely epic announcer here on Hockey Night in Canada. Hired Dick Irvin. Ralph Mellanby wrote a book about his time with Hockey Night in Canada. Chapter 1 had to be Foster Hewitt, but Chapter 2 was Brian McFarland. He was a pillar of our broadcast. He's written 27 books. He did Peter the Puck. He's the all-time leading scorer at St. Lawrence University. Still has 5 records there. Hell of a hockey life, Brian, and congratulations as you received the Order of Canada from the Gigi Mary Simon. Amazing. And here's another turn back the clock moment. We'll start. Phil Esposito, how ridiculous to win a ceremonial face-off by pulling the puck all the way back to the far end boards. Does that to the Prime Minister. Who would do a thing like that? You guessed it. Thursday night.
Almost take my daughter's leg out.
Get out of the way. Okay, congrats. And lots about Kevin, too. It was a magical night in Vancouver. Yeah, just great. Okay, let's get to Kyle Bukauskas and the Boston Bruins in Toronto. To you at Scotiabank. Kyle.
Well, Ron, the Bruins have the best record in hockey, and on top of that, they get David Krejci back in the lineup here tonight. Leadership is at the forefront of this matchup. John Tavares coming off a hat trick in a game that felt like the Leafs needed to have. He often lets his play do the talking, and we heard from Patrice Bergeron speak from the heart again this morning. When he talks, people listen. He and his teammates grooving with a 10-1 start to the year, while Tavares doing his part to just get things rolling again for the Leafs as they enter what is no question the most difficult part of their schedule to this point in the season. Sean McKenzie, over to you in Montreal.
Kyle, yesterday Habs fans were abuzz when Drake released his new album, and on the song More M's, he referenced the team saying skating through this album like a Montreal Canadian. The question is, though, is how many more M's, millions that is, are the Habs going to have to pay Cole Caulfield, because him and Nick Suzuki have combined for 25 points and have proven to already be an elite combination in the National Hockey League. On that album, Drake also said they say more money, more problems, bring on the problems. That was the mindset of the Vegas Golden Knights for years. They spent, they got themselves into some cap problems, but they figured it out and seem to be once again an elite team in the National Hockey League. Now let's send it to Carolyn Cameron.
Sean, I have no Drake references in our nation's capital, but Claude Giroux, he played 1,000 games for the Philadelphia Flyers, and tonight, here at home, he'll play his first game against them. But the question is, how's he going to feel? How's he going to play? Well, DJ Smith said when he walked into the room this morning, Giroux was through his 3rd episode of The Office, so he's feeling calm. It's Cam Talbot who's going to be raring to go because he returned from injury early on Thursday, coming on in relief of Forsberg. Tonight, Talbot gets his first start as an Ottawa Senator. Ron?
Carolyn, appreciate you doing the work for us tonight. Enjoyed Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey this week. Kelly, how about that game?
Bring on the problems. So Ottawa finds themselves in last place in the Atlantic Division. High hopes coming into the season, right? But they have 12 games this month. They have to get on a roll. As Carolyn said, Cam Talbot is back in the net. That's good news.
And for the Montreal game, they face a team in Vegas that's off to a red-hot start. But if you think of the Canadians, yes, Caulfield and Suzuki continue to impress. And one other thing that's very positive for the Canadians, if you look at their last 3 games, their power play is 3 for 7 at almost 43%.
Toronto and Boston, both teams coming off of 5-2 wins and are both looking to go back-to-back And tonight, Wayne Simmons, that's our Drake song, by the way, Kelly. You missed that one, eh?
I did.
Both team, Wayne Simmons is in. It'll get physical, and we'll see if they can have some team toughness against the best team in the NHL right now, the Boston Bruins.
One last thing as we go to break. 120,000 Canadians have given their lives in the service in the military, and you can see everybody sporting their poppies. It's Hockey Fights Cancer Night tonight in Toronto, but 5 days away from the most unforgettable day of the year. We'll never forget. Remembrance Day's on route this week.
On this Saturday, so almost fitting that it's the Bruins in town to face the Maple Leafs for the first time this season. Chris and Craig in a moment, but first, here's Mike Ross.
We now ask that you please rise if you're able to, remove your hats, and join Natalie Morris in the singing of our national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Always a buzz in the city when the Bees come to Toronto. And tonight they bring the league's best record at 10-1 and the best start in franchise history to Scotiabank Arena for an Original Six showdown with the Maple Leafs. There's Linus Ullmark, who will start for Boston, a Bruins tying record, 8 straight wins to start the season. 1-4-1 in his career against the Maple Leafs. Ilya Samsonov gets his 8th start, 4-0 on home ice. 23 stops Wednesday to snap the Leafs' 4-game losing streak. Patrice Bergeron, 19 years in the league, 5 times the Selke Trophy winner, expected to go head-to-head with Austin Matthews tonight, the Rocket Richard Trophy winner, but Craig not the opening faceoff.
If you heard Brad Marchand's interview in the pregame talking about his 4th line, how good they were, Jim Montgomery gives them the early assignment to start this game.
And that's Nosek along with A.J. Greer. First shot is onto the logo of Samsonov.
That really is something that the Bruins are just comfortable with. You know, on the road, now you can make the change in the offensive zone. And what a start for Jim Montgomery, coming in to a new environment, a team with a great culture, a team solid defensively. Couldn't have asked for a better start, and it's been all the way through the lineup. His top players have come to play, and it's been fun to watch the Bruins to start this year.
Boy, they've done it so many different ways, including a comeback from 3 down to win in overtime earlier in the week against Pittsburgh. An impressive performance against the Rangers on Thursday. Leafs won all 3 meetings last year. And there's Matthews swatting that puck well wide of the net. Marner will send it around to the near side. TJ Brodie in behind the net. And Hampus Lindholm off to an incredible start for Boston. Out there on the back line, and to work goes Jake DeBrusk. Here's DeBrusk with a hot shot high. Matthews will track that down at the end of a shift as he swings it back in behind the Leaf net. Off the bench, David Pastrnak looks for it. He has points in the last 6. John Tavares comes over the boards, coming off a 4-point night and a hat trick against Philadelphia. Matt Grzelcyk turns away from the forecheck of Tavares, but he gets it towards Kerfoot, and now Pastrnak, who scored a nasty backhand goal the other night, rolls it down into the Leaf zone. That one knocked down, and Taylor Hall sends it in Pasternak's direction. David Krejci returns to the Boston lineup after missing the last 2 games, and he'll center that second line.
Well, how about that shift for Timothy Liljegren, his first game of the season, and that's a pretty tough matchup to have to go against Pastrnak early on. He's trying to get his feet wet, get himself back into game play.
There's a puck that squirted out in front. Dennis Mulligan on it, and there's the first shot on Linus Ullmark. Puck along the boards. Mulligan unable to come up with it. He'll try and track it down again against Jacob Zboril. Out at center ice, it's Rasmus Sandin in his 100th NHL game. Lead feed, Mulligan in! Kicked away by Ullmark. Tested twice by the Leafs. 4th line in the early going.
Oh, a late change there by the Bruins opened up that chance. There's 2 good saves by Ullmark, both on Dennis Mulligan.
Now Brodie comes on, gets it to Sandin and back. And up ahead to Pierre Engvall, who will see start the night at least for the first time this season at center. Ullmark dishing it to Connor Clifton. Wayne Simmons back in the lineup. His first home start of the year. And a big hit on the forecheck, but the puck is cleared out to center by A.J. Greer. There's Nick Foligno, the former Leaf, playing it inside the line. Justin Hall ahead. It's tipped by Simmons, who goes to the bench, and Connor Clifton in for Boston. Here's Clifton centering off the blade of the goal stick of Samsonov.
Really good read there by Samsonov. That pass was destined cross crease. That might have been a good scoring chance instead. Good active stick took away it.
Jake DeBrusk rolls that in. And now a lead feed at center on the tape for Bunting, who couldn't corral it. And Brandon Carlo got back to be stride for stride with him. Austin Matthews has scored in 2 of the last 3. He almost scored there, and a funny hop with Ullmark out of the net. That would have been something. They haven't been going for early, but a near unexpected gift.
Now there's a camera hole over there, and at times maybe the camera is poking out of it, and that may have been where that one went, but it was a close call for sure.
Taylor Hall has his stick lifted by Giordano. Up ahead to Rasmus Sandin. Flips it back into the Boston zone. John Tavares trying to come up with it. Around it goes, and out come the Bruins. Pasternak's pass for Hall knocked down. Good play by Sandin. Just out of the reach of Tavares. Nylander will get there first, so no icing. And now for Tavares right on. Tavares now with 398 goals after the hat trick against Philadelphia. David Kampf through center. Lost it, and Connor Clifton starts the Bruins back the other way. Flicked in by Trent Frederick. 2/3 of a Gordie Howe hat trick against the Rangers with a goal and a bout. Here's Justin Hall behind the net, working it loose for Brody. And out at center ice. Wide of the Bruin goal, icing against Toronto.
Well, good pace to this game. That's just the second whistle so far in the first 5 minutes. How about the chance? This line against Philadelphia was Aston Reese who got the game-winning goal. Mulligan in all alone and really challenges Ullmark. You could see how far out he was. Matthews just trying to dump this one in, and wow, what a bounce that you could see. Maybe that'll keep Ullmark back in his net a little bit more. That's something that happens early on and always a little bit rattling for a goaltender. Maybe he'll keep him tied to his net and something the Leafs can take advantage of.
Järnkrok worked it out to center to start the change, and back in comes Jake DeBrusk. Centering pass. Bergeron feeding the point. Carlo, the shot tipped by DeBrusk. Justin Hall after it against Marchand. And now it's tapped back by Järnkrok. Up ahead to Michael Bunting. Trying to go wide on Grzelcyk. Here's Bunting back to the line for Timothy Liljegren. Plays it off the boards, and it's Marner taking the bank and putting it out in front. Liljegren gives it back to Marner. A pair of assists against the Flyers. In is Riley. Rolled it wide of the net. A.J. Greer, who's had a good start for the Bruins on the fourth line. More goals than he had in 3 years with Colorado and 2 years with New Jersey. And that puck sent down the ice and a race for it. Kerfoot's got a break. Alex Kerfoot and Lindholm recover to get his stick on the puck and knock it away. Nice recovery, but kept in by Giordano. Here's a chance, and Kerfoot sent that wide. Now Nylander causes a turnover, goes to the net. Ullmark down, and he'll cover up as the Leafs come close.
Well, it's a Saturday night, an original six matchup, and this has got a good heartbeat to this game. And how about this race? Lindholm gets inside position, just uses his stick effectively. Kerfoot thinks he's in. Lindholm with the save.
The Rapid Recap is brought to you by Tylenol Rapid Release Gel Caps. David Pastrnak surprised himself with this backhand beauty Thursday in New York. He said he felt like Patrick Kane with the way he was able to find room up top. Nick Foligno made the point this morning. Pastrnak is at an age now where you combine his skill and understanding of the game. It becomes like a superpower. He is confident in who he is as a person and someone who has said in the past he loves beating Toronto.
Pulls in 5 of his last 6. Surprising he hasn't hit 50 yet. This might be the year.
Yeah, and you forget that he's just 26 years old. You know, when you're playing with guys like Bergeron and Marchand, you think, oh yeah, he's been forever. You associate him with the Bruins. He's just gearing up for his prime now, and sky's the limit for sure.
John Tavares won the draw. That backhand reminiscent of Davey Keon. Puck behind the net, dug out by Kerfoot. There is Nylander. He swings wide on Pastrnak. 88's dueling, and Nylander takes a lap back to the line, and a shot right on from Morgan Riley.
Ontario. DraftKings Sportsbook has so many ways to get in on the action, like same-game parlays, puck lines, money lines, and more. Download the app and get in on the action.
They're the Finley Cullens. They're one big dysfunctional family, and they're serving more drama. Moonshine tomorrow at 9 on CBC or stream free on CBC Gem. Matthews back out there on the draw against Nosek, so maybe it's going to be the fourth line tonight against Austin Matthews. Morgan Riley back. Lost it, nearly lost it to A.J. Greer. Liljegren with the outlet, and now Marner sends away Riley at center. Matthews drives the lane, played in by Riley, and now Michael Bunting on it. TJ Brody for Marner. Slots it in behind the net for Bunting. Hasn't had a point in his last 5. Kicked it loose, scores! Matthews tucks it in, and Bunting
Well, the game's first goal goes to last year's Rocket Richard winner, and it very much the same. Watch the hands down low as the battle ensues. Bunting down, keeps it just a little kick to get it to him, and the head of Ullmark was looking to the left. All Matthews has is just a little bit of room, and watch as he gets it up and over. You know, a lot of guys just try to stuff that one down and ended up going off the pad a couple of times. There's a little bit of room up and above. Ullmark takes a quick look to his left right there, and oh man, just slides it between the blocker and the post. Almost looked like he turned the puck sideways, and after maybe a little frustrating, difficult start for Matthews, that's goals in 3 of the last 4, and he's back on track.
Another first goal for Austin Matthews, the 45th icebreaker goal for him in his career. Top 2 in net department active are David Pastrnak and Austin Matthews. Matthews gets the jump tonight, and the Leafs have the lead. By the way, the Bruins 8-0 when they have scored first this year. And we were talking about backhands. Backhand for Matthews to get proceedings started tonight. Justin Hall at the line. Sent back in. Time of the goal, 7:19. Bunting and Marner. And Mitch Marner has got a 5-game point streak. Justin Hall dumps it in. David Kampf shoulder to shoulder with Riley. Riley sends it ahead. Charlie Coyle fights off a check from Morgan and plays it out to center.
Yeah, maybe more importantly for Matthews, get him on a little roll. That's 3 straight now, and last year he had streaks of 7 and 6. And you know he's been dying to get on a little bit of a roll. There's a way that maybe gives you the confidence, gives the edge to get it going.
Back out, and here's Matthews trying to drop for Marner, who skated by it. Played to the line and out. Michael Bunting back in. Stood up there by Lindholm. Pastrnak at outlet, and David Krejci gets it onto the left side for Taylor Hall. Now Clifton belts it. Mark Giordano steps up on him. Rasmus Sandin gives it up. Hall with a steal. Down low it goes to Pastrnak. He'll try and jam it. Marner in front, and he'll flick it away. And this will skitter just enough for icing. And so a rare point early where Boston is in the trail position this season.
Well, you just felt the intensity of this game. And you know, for Sheldon Keefe coming into the game, you go, we've got to get the lead. This is something Boston hasn't had to deal with. They've been dominating early on, as you mentioned, scoring in 8 of the first 11 first. Well, here they're going to have to try to play from behind. And so for the Leafs coming off maybe their best complete game against Philadelphia on Thursday, they brought some of it into this one, a good pace early on, and the all-important first goal to give them that lead.
Giordano up at center, redirected by Nylander. Connor Clifton across. Lindholm up ahead. Lindholm with 6 points in his last 2 games. A 4-pointer against Pittsburgh, including the overtime winner. Just the 9th defenseman in NHL history with 4 points in a game, including an overtime goal. It's played to Pastrnak. Into the slot. Bergeron disrupted there by Tavares. Up ahead, it's Calle Järnkrok. Järnkrok fights off a check. Slides it through for the captain. Looks for Kerfoot on the near side. Now bump back to Brody. Knocked down along the boards by Boston, and a lead feed for DeBrusk. Unable to connect with Marchand. Both teams changing. Engvall back on the ice. Wayne Simmons checks in along with Malgin. And we heard that Sheldon Keefe might shuffle the lines. We're seeing early evidence of that. Hit there by Malgin on the forecheck. Mike Riley redlining in for Boston. Around it goes, and Hall is met by Sandin. DeBrusk taken down by Engvall. Scrum along the board. Sandin able to knock it loose. Zboril off the blocker of Samsonov. Now Giordano plays it back for Sandin. Malgin with Zboril advancing, played it past him, and That'll roll down the ice, but no icing.
Get a little break. A.J. Green just didn't know if DeBrusk had fully gotten off the bench there, so he let that puck go, and that allowed a tired Maple Leaf line to get a change.
Lindholm rink wide for Greer. Liljegren around, and that's knocked down by Nosek. Greer along the boards, and now Foligno back to the line. Lindholm gives it back to Foligno. That shot deflecting through. Samsonov down, and he will cover up. Well, on this Hockey Fights Cancer night, our crew is heartbroken by the passing of our colleague and friend Don Young yesterday after a 7-year battle with the disease. If there was a major sports event in Canada, you probably watched it through his lens. Stanley Cups, World Juniors, Raptors, Grey Cups, curling, Olympics. Jairaf did it all, and he will be missed. Our condolences to Judy, family, and his legion of friends across the country. Love is beautiful and painful and funny, and this season Savvy is feeling it all on Sort of. New season November 15th at 9 on CBC. Stream free on CBC Gem. So 8:41 remaining here in the first period. Austin Matthews the goal scorer. Leafs have outshot the Bruins 6-4.
Yeah, here's a line for Jim Montgomery to put Bergeron out with Pasternak and Marchand as well. Offensive zone.
Rink wide pass that glanced off the skate to Brody. A shot doesn't get to the net. He's had the luxury of doing this on occasion this season. Change of pace, maybe change of momentum.
Absolutely. You get an offensive zone faceoff. This trio is so dangerous together, and it's worked well splitting them up. Just looking for maybe a spark to try to tie this game up, and good job getting it out by the Leafs through that pressure.
Marner's pass off the back heel of Matthews. In comes Lindholm. Pasternak, and he overskated the puck in a spot where he usually cashes in. Lindholm dashing back defensively. Remember, no Charlie McAvoy yet. Summer shoulder surgery expected back in the next couple of weeks.
Jim Montgomery said he's back doing things, but he hasn't been able to check all the boxes off to get back with the team and be ready to play. Getting closer, though.
Tavares fanned on a pass, but able to maintain possession. Rasmus Sandin right into the glove of Linus Ullmark.
Well, we saw the backhander that Kyle showed of Pasternak. This one, he's got his head up the whole way. I think this puck just bobbles right over his stick. He's trying to cradle it, and then, yeah, flipped right up and over as he was thinking get a quick release for Samsonov, and that one went back the other way. And we'll see if Jim Montgomery goes back to his lineup the way he had him and splitting up Pasternak from that line. But that was a pretty effective shift, the first one they were together tonight.
So here's Engvall out and winning a face-off, but nobody there for the Leafs to pick it up. And Trent Frederick will deposit it down in the Toronto zone. Pavel Zacha on this line with Charlie Coyle. He had been on the second line at center in place of the injured David Krejci. Now Simmons after it against Mike Riley. Zaboral flips it to the line, and it jumps the stick of Riley. And here is Zacha flipping it in front. Down is Samsonov, and got a piece of that with Frederick crashing the net.
You know what? He was able to stay out of his goal line. He almost got pushed back in past his goal line, but really good job of keeping the pad there. Frederick tried to get the deflection, and Samsonov able to get enough of it.
Now deflected over the line. Aston Reese unable to come up with it. He's got it now in the corner. Hit there by Clifton, but continues on. Scored his first Leaf goal against the Flyers. Sandin looking for a shooting lane. David Kampf up with it, centering it. Morgan gives it back to Kampf to the side of the net, and Ullmark will pounce on that.
The one thing the Bruins typically do, get the puck to the outside, drive bodies to the net, and just trying to throw a good breakout here with a little chip past Riley. Now they get speed to the outside. And good aggressive play. Mo Samsonov with his right pad, but then watch his blocker make sure that he try to catapult out. He makes the save, and then his body able to get it. And nice job of Liljegren staying with that puck and clearing it out from in front. Pretty good start for Timothy Liljegren. He's had some tough matchups here early on.
Leafs win a draw. Brody plays the bank, and a quick stick there by Ullmark. Timothy Liljegren did play a pair of games with the Marlies to try and get up to speed. Marchand leans on Marner. Justin Hall in support to the near side. Brandon Carlo in behind the net for Marchand. Here's Carlo sending it off a skate. Marchand on the ice looking for point number 800. Sitting on 799. It'll be kept in at the line by Carlo. Here's Carlo sending it right on, and Samsonov got that. So under 6 left here in the first period. Austin Matthews has the lone goal, his 5th of the season.
Matthews said early on he was still trying to find a rhythm. This was Wednesday night. It didn't result in a goal, but the between the legs attempt, Craig made the point at the time, it was an elite player just reacting, not thinking. And his goal here tonight, no hesitation, quick up and under on the backhand. Mitch Marner said sometimes you have to get creative offensively, and for that duo, that's typically when they are at their best, Chris.
7th goal in 8 games against Ullmark. And with 198 career even strength goals.
Well, how about his 45th first goal of the game? The only one who scored more since he's been in the league is Pasternak with 51.
Lindholm across, Connor Clifton a shot, and that's deflected high. David Krejci a stick on that.
This is a little break in the action to remind you that the DraftKings Sportsbook app is available. Download it. Now back to the game we love.
There's the veteran David Krejci back after spending a year away from the NHL. Played back at home in Czechia and played in the Olympics. But approaching 1,000 games and a real difference maker for the Bruins.
And there's Pasternak back on his line with Taylor Hall. Jake DeBrusk's back with Bergeron on the one after. So just a little bit of juggling for Jim Montgomery with his lines.
Krejci took a high stick against Detroit and was shaken up and missed a couple of games. Here's Zaboral at the wheel onto the right side. Coyle. Goals in each of the last 4. In front, Frederick, and that shot missed the target. Back to the line for Riley. Zaboral, his shot doesn't get through. He'll advance, but overskeets the puck, and Kerfoot sends it around. The Leafs get it out. It's Nylander at center. Kerfoot's on the move. Alex Kerfoot right on. And Ullmark will hold on to that.
Pretty evenly matched game. Both lines get a chance, a good chance at each end. And here's Charlie Coyle just buying a little time as Frederick coming in the high slot. Good stick there by Tavares. He got a piece of that one to not allow one go through. And then a long outlet pass that creates some open ice in the middle. And there's one for Kerfoot just trying to find a way, maybe even get a little deflection off the defender. This Boston team, they're first in the National Hockey League in goals for and a stingy 4th in goals against. They don't come easily against them, and they've been able to find ways of putting them in yours.
A year ago, they were 6-5 and a -2 goal differential. It's a much different story this season. Here's Foligno with a nifty outlet to a breakaway pass that got past Nosek. Samsonov out to play it away from the on-charging Bruin center. Mark Giordano off the skeet to Matthews. And it's turned back in by DeBrusk. DJ Brody had Marchand lining him up. He sidestepped that. Now Matthews. Bunting, shooting right on. Matthews looked for the tip. Justin Hall deep in Boston ice. This plays it in behind the net, and now the Leafs will retreat on a change. Riley turns at center, and Flicks it in on the backhand. A.J. Greer after it. Hit Hall, who moved the puck quickly. Brody along the boards, and Foligno's got him pinned. Greer trying to kick it loose. Engvall in to help out. Now it's Simmons. Up for Engvall at center. Tied up there by Foligno. Foligno off to a terrific start. Already more goals than all of last year. Had 2 last season, 3 in the early going this year for Boston.
It almost seemed that his time in Boston was going to be written off. A paper transaction got waived early on, but man, he's come to play and he's found a really good niche on that line and gotten off to a great, confident start here for the Bruins.
Now Lindholm gets it to Krejci. Connor Clifton played it into the near corner. Taylor Hall checked there by Camp. Krejci sends it around, and Clifton at the left point. Looking across, Lindholm trying to activate, but Morgan plays it up off the boards and out. Hampus Lindholm ahead for Pasternak. Curled inside the line. And the second time with Kerfoot watching him. Round it goes for Coyle. Bumped and dispossessed there by Tavares. And it's fed ahead, and John Tavares loose. Got Nylander going in. Tavares shot, and it's muffled there by Grzelcyk. Nice defensive play by Matt Grzelcyk. Nylander up high. Here's Brody sending it across the Hall. Tavares trying to get loose the side of the net. Now played up the boards, and Frederick can't get it out. Tavares holds the zone, spins it back wide. William Nylander on it there. Charlie Coyle up with it for Boston, and Frederick will skate it out. Here's Frederick inside the line. That one jumps the stick of Samsonov. Brandon Carlo works in. Up against Brody. And Justin Hall headmans the puck. Marner couldn't get it past Marchand, but it's brought back in offside.
Well, Leafs have had a couple of good chances from good stretch passes with pressure on in the defensive zone. One quick little play, and here's the outlet pass coming deep, and Tavares is just waiting for the 2-on-1. How about Frederick? He's coming from the bench, and Matt Grzelcyk realizes he's got a little bit of support with Frederick on his left side. That allows him to be aggressive right there. The little curl and drag by Tavares tried to slide it through the legs to at least get a rebound for Nylander. But Frederick just came flying off the bench on the change and at least supported his D enough that he could be aggressive.
So under a minute remaining here in the opening frame. Austin Matthews, the goal scorer, back on the ice with Marner to the attack. And Bunting. Mitch Marner's in for Giordano. Lost it, but Morgan Riley sends it toward the net. That hit somebody, might have hit Matthews on the back. Matthews looks for Marner. It bounces past him to Giordano. Now Marner for Bunting. Michael Bunting, Morgan Riley, Giordano a shot. And that one blocked by Foligno, who sends it back to center. Quickly back in the Leafs. Matthews for Riley, for Bunting, for Marner, and he was partially checked, and the Bruins clear. Final 10 seconds. Riley flips that in, and Ullmark's gonna have to eat it. And a face-off with 4.8 remaining in the Boston zone.
Yeah, a pretty good shift there. A couple of chances down, and Brad Marchand came back defensively and was able to come back to the middle. Ullmark, how about the start for him? He ties a franchise record for most wins to start a season with 8, and that happened to be in a pretty significant year. Tim Thomas in 2010-11, and if you're a Bruins fan, you know what happened at the end of that year, a Stanley Cup victory, but what a start for the Bruins goaltender.
Face-off one, but Nylander unable to get control for a shot. Clock drains. And one done here. Austin Matthews has his 5th of the season. Leafs outshoot the Bruins 11-7. Coming up, our first intermission with Ron McLean, Jim Bottle, Kelly Rudy, Kevin Bieksa, and Elliot Friedman. Our first intermission with the Leafs leading 1-0.
Senators bring it the other way. Tkachuk for Giroux in front, and they score! And it's Claude Giroux, number 300 for the former Flyers captain.
Longtime voice of the Oshawa Generals, now of Hockey Night in Canada, Mike Luck with the call. Claude Giroux gets his 300th goal in Ottawa against Philadelphia. We're not going to go through the games. We're going to deal with the culture of hockey right now and to the point. First at a macro level, and then we'll get down to the team level. Kevin was unbelievable in Vancouver. As you know, Mitchell Miller signed by the Boston Bruins, the 20-year-old who, when he was a teenager, had racially abused and bullied a young black classmate who was developmentally challenged. We don't have all the facts, so to give you a teachable moment right now would be impossible. But we're all processing, including the teammates of the Boston Bruins organization. Let's listen to Nick Foligno.
It's not something that anyone in this room stands for. So, you know, the culture that we've built and these guys have built before I got here is one of inclusion, and you know, I think it goes against that. So I understand he was 14 when he made this mistake, but you know, it's hard for us to swallow because we take a lot of pride in here, the way we act, the way we carry ourselves, what it is to be a Bruin. So that was a tough, you know, thing to hear for our group. I'm not going to lie to you.
We invited Don Sweeney, the general manager, to join us tonight. He declined. Elliot and Jeff on 32 Thoughts, much more on this story as it's developing. Jennifer, why don't you give us just a first blush impression?
Sure. A reaction would be one of confusion and concern on what has Mitchell done to earn this signing in terms of what we've learned, the information that's been provided. What steps has he taken to prove that he's learned from this or grown as a person? Or what has he done to show his regret or to educate other people to prevent such horrible things from happening? And this wasn't one single minor incident. This was ongoing. And so if somebody's going to earn a second chance, there needs to be more proof of what steps have been taken to get that opportunity.
I think that it's a positive sign for our game where the players are speaking out now and not just doing this internally and saying in a little group, I don't agree with this signing. None of us do. But I think it's really important that they get their message out to the public to make sure the public knows the Boston Bruins players do not agree with this. That's a strong message to me.
It is. And if you look at the culture of a team is like a house. If you want it to be strong and stand the test of time, it has to have a strong foundation. And on a hockey team, a foundation is 25 bricks or weight-bearing walls, 25 people on the team. And by those clips, it shows a lot of those players don't agree. They don't want a faulty brick or a weight-bearing wall knocked down on their team and with their culture, messing with it.
We're not sure if he's acknowledged his wrongdoing, let alone the impact of the hurt he created with the actions, Miller. But again, we're a little bit in the dark on this. I mean, Gary Bettman speaks and the NHLPA says, well, Gary had no right to say that. And we're hearing different things from different people within the organization. Eustace King, his agent, is a extremely well-respected individual, so it's complicated. And yeah, as I say, more on 32 Thoughts. So one quick thing though, Sheldon Kennedy and the Respect Group have been working with Stanley Bowman, and this is an incredible program, a pilot project with the Calgary Hitmen, Red Deer Rebels, Edmonton Oil Kings. They're creating a respect charter. Each team was asked to sit down and tell everybody what respect meant to them, how to hold one another accountable. So this is an ongoing project just underway in the Western Hockey League and the CHL with the Respect Group, and having the players again speak, as you said, Kelly. Okay, here's Kevin Bieksa to Vancouver Canucks Thursday morning at skate time.
I think it takes like 3 to 4 defensemen, 1 to 2 goalies, and 6 to 7 forwards of ultra-competitive guys. Ultra-competitive in your own right. Like, are you a net front guy? Well, you're the first guy on the ice tipping pucks every morning. Are you a shooter on the flank? Well, you're a guy who's on the ice every morning shooting 100 pucks before practice, right? Like, that's what the skill guys did. That's what the Kesslers, the Burrows, the Sedins, that's what they did. Are you an energy guy? You're in the gym. You have, like, your mandatory workouts, but you do more. You go above and beyond. So you're the best conditioned guy. You're the strongest guy. Your body's not breaking down from all the contact. You hone your craft. You take pride in what you do, and you work your doing it, and that's what makes everybody a better team. And then you keep each other accountable. If everybody's doing that, the goalies are on early, everyone's working at their profession, and you battle each other in practice, and that's why we were a great team for 8 to 10 years, and that's why we had a great culture.
Kelly.
Well said, Kev. So when I look back on my career, I had one of those teaching moments also. It's my first or second year in the league. We're in St. Louis. I had my best ever game, 49 saves. We beat the Blues 5-1. The next day at practice, I was dogging it. And I watched Bob Nystrom skate right over to me. And I can't say exactly what he said, but he basically said in my ear something about get moving. And that's unacceptable. And that's kind of the message you're talking about. Everybody has to be held accountable.
And I think the accountability is on so many levels, and that's an important thing to address. When we're talking about a winning environment, it's how are you going to behave on and off the ice. So in the locker room, but also away from the rink. And I think for Olympic teams that were successful, it was about having the best character people. And I think that's just such a key part of hockey success, and the positive rivalry. You do need to push people in different situations, but also understand that every person is going to be responsible and take care of each other within that environment.
For me, Kevin, to see the players wrap the tension was magic. How do you choose who does what role in terms of allowing them to work on their craft? I love that that wasn't so much motivational stuff as here's physical things you can tangibly do to make yourself better. How do you decide who's the buddy that shoots the puck, that you be the net front presence guy, tipping it, and so on?
Well, I didn't know that talk was going to go viral. I thought that was just going to be for them, but now that it is, we're talking about it, and that's, you master your own domain. So you work on what you're good at, and you put in the effort to be the best at it, and if everybody's doing that, then it goes together, and then now all of a sudden my words carry weight. So now if I'm always working on what I'm good at, Jen's always working at her stuff, Kelly's stopping a couple pucks once in a while. Now when we say something to you, hey Ron, pick it up a little bit with your throws to Kyle Bukauskas. Now our words carry weight because we're all working our butts off and we're all mastering our own domain. So this is the Stanley Cup Finals, and this is Nathan MacKinnon. He's working on a specific skill. That was the Crosby tip. Here's Maroon in front. It's the same thing. You're a professional. You do what you do. You work hard at it. Your teammates see that. And all of a sudden, if you're not pulling your weight, now we can tell you.
You can look at the socials, too, for more of Kevin's address to and they cut that down because you're a little long-winded to the team. I'm sure they were...
Well, a lot of beeps. There's a lot of beeps from some swear words. I wish we had that here.
It's well worth it. We'll take a short break, continue our coverage. Cabbie on the other side of the break on Hockey Night in Canada.
It is Maple Leafs Hockey Fights Cancer Night here at Scotiabank Arena this evening. The Leafs' first-round pick back in 2020, Rodion Amirov. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor back in February. Sheldon Keefe said today this night hits a little different for the group this year because of that. He said Amirov has a big fight on his hands here. He spent some time around the group at the start of the season, but he has since returned home to Russia. Austin Matthews, the game's goal scorer. There's his Movember-themed skates that he is sporting here tonight. Once again, an ambassador of that campaign this year and an ambassador of Amirov's fight this year as well. Chris?
Yeah, we wish young Rodion Amirov the best.
Really interesting to watch the interactions that the players had with him, though, on a lot of those videos. And you know, sometimes it's a reality like that that brings some human element to the game, brings your group closer together and all rallying around him, and hopefully his fight will continue to be a real positive one.
Great gesture by the Leafs to introduce him on opening night. As we start the second period, Bergeron plays it to the side of the net, and Samsonov will cover. We'll check the stats through the opening period of a pretty fast-paced.
You know, sometimes stats don't really reflect what the game was like, but this was a pretty evenly matched period. The one goal by Matthews, the difference, probably the most notable, the slot shots by the Maple Leafs, and that's something that's difficult to do against this defense of the Boston Bruins, is to get to that area.
There's Clifton and a glove stop by Samsonov. We'll check back in with Kyle.
Well, Chris, just looking at those numbers there, you also saw the rush chances favor Toronto 3-1. That's one area, though, that Boston has really improved under Jim Montgomery. They lead the league in rush chances. They were below average last season, so another thing for Toronto to keep an eye on here as this game unfolds. That's where they get a lot of their offense from, but they haven't given up much in that situation here so far tonight.
A lot of talk in Boston about a more active blue line early in the season as Tavares off the post. John Tavares has had a hot stick, and he comes close. Ringing iron. Again, the hat trick on Wednesday, his first since a 4-goal game back in March of 2019.
Well, here's what Kevin Bieksa was talking about, is honing your craft. You saw the 2-on-1 in the first period. Tavares tried to force a shot through. He's just getting it to an area, and then look at that, right between the legs. So a difficult visual for the goaltender, Ullmark, to watch that one go through Clifford's legs. The one-timer against Philadelphia was off the bar and in by Tavares, a good sound, and that one, you can see the mark right there on the crossbar. That one came close, but not in.
You know I like Liss. He scored 3 the other night. He has 398. On Wednesday night, he passed Dave Keon, Paul Coffey, Cam Neely, Marcus Naslund, and Pierre LaRouche on the all-time goals list. He's climbing the ladder.
2 more, get to that elusive 400. What a start to the season it's been for the captain.
Bergeron at 404. Carlo taken to the end boards. Kerfoot there. Nylander jostling with Krejci. It comes loose, and Riley shot off target. There's Liljegren, who stepped up. Nylander backs him up. Kerfoot down low, and John Tavares kicks it back to the line, and Liljegren shot deflected wide. Timothy Liljegren had 4 goals in the final 13 games last year as the offense started to come. And it's turned over. Tavares gets it back to Nylander. Good shift for the Tavares line. Here's Nylander. Tried to center that. Liljegren had moved up. And Morgan Riley comes across to hold the zone. Off the bench comes Morgan, who had 3 shots in the opening period. And now David Kampf back to Sandin. Back to Kampf, who heads back into the Boston zone. Morgan fires, and that's off the stick and out of play.
Download the BetMGM app and play with the king of sportsbooks and casinos.
Chris, I like what Sheldon Keefe said about Liljegren. You know, in his youth coming up, he was always a great offensive player, but when you get to the NHL, it's not often that a young defenseman can use that offensive skill, so you got to learn how to defend, and that's really been his focus, and he's done a good job of allowing him to stay in the lineup because of his good defensive play, and now, as he gets a little bit more experience, that offense will find a way to come to the forefront.
Here's Kampf, Aston Reese, and Morgan, and Riley works Kampf over. Puck comes loose, and out come the Bruins. Zacha and Hall tried to move up here. Different grouping for Jim Montgomery. He's got Zacha, Hall, and Frederick as he shuffles the deck. Taylor Hall in, weak shot. Banks at the rebound. Samsonov down, and he'll hold on.
Well, there's a determined shift by Hall, and you know, at times you can't quite make the pretty play, and twice he went to try to shoot or make a pass and couldn't quite get the handle on it as he gains the zone. He's got 3 bodies to try to get through, but he stays with it, and he's the one that ends up on the puck. Samsonov unable to control the rebound. Sandin got a piece of the body, but Hall able to get it there. It was in play for a second, just barely missed on that one. Now Frederick trying to grab it. A good effort by Samsonov to find it in all those feet as Hall trying to whack that one through.
Hasn't been a constant matchup tonight, but Bergeron's out against Matthews here. Lindholm's pass, looking across for Marchand. Back to the line, clipped and fanned on that. Broke his stick and has to go to the bench for a new cue as Marner to the attack. Checked by Lindholm. Knocked down just outside the line by Matthews, and kicked back by Marner as the Leafs gain possession. Here comes Marner, who assisted on the first period goal by Matthews. That pass across just out of the reach of 34, and away goes Jake DeBrusk. Trying to dash in, can't get past Hall. Quick counter, Leafs go to work. Marner trying to get it back to Matthews, a backhand right on. Backhand seemed to be the theme of the night. Now Liljegren, Morgan Riley. Mitch Marner sends it inside the line, bounces onto the stick of Bunting. Pierre Engvall's on it behind the net. Engvall trying to jam it in front. Järnkrok looks for it. Gally Järnkrok after it behind the net. Brandon Carlo there, and there's Wayne Simmons. Nosek one hands it to the left side, and Nick Foligno will play it away. On this date in 1993, Nick's dad Mike got traded by the Leafs and sent to the Florida Panthers. Here's Foligno. Up ahead to A.J. Greer. Mentioned two members of the Bruins in the lineup tonight were on waivers earlier this year, Mike Riley and Nick Foligno.
You just get a sense of this game. It just has a bit more energy, and some of it might just simply be the great matchup between Boston and Toronto, but also you know that when you're going up against the top team right now, you have a little bit extra jump. There's another backhand, but so often as you see there, you're trying to battle through sticks to get it to the net. Matthews able to get it there, but good save by Allmark.
Our stats man Jason Murdoch rising to the occasion too, letting us know Austin Matthews with 12 backhand goals since the start of last year. Number 2 in the league in that department. Calle Jarnkrok ahead. Engvall up to Simmons. There's Wayne Simmons. Engvall was heading off, and now Simmons will too.
Yeah, there's a matchup change there where you just see the Krejci line come out, and Sheldon Keefe wants Tavares going toe-to-toe.
Here's Jacob Zboril, turns it over, and the first penalty of the game is going against Toronto.
Toronto penalty number 91, minor slashing.
So John Tavares, who was in the box for the first goal of the game by Philadelphia on Wednesday, draws the first penalty of the night tonight.
And you can see his reaction as play through the middle of the ice, and it's just on the hand, and then good defensive effort by Kerfoot, and you wonder whether the arm went up after, when potential for a 2-on-1 going back the other way with Tavares and Nylander. So the game's first power play goes to the Boston Bruins.
Bruins 13th on the power play. One for their last 8. They had a 3 power play goal game against Detroit. Lindholm will quarterback it. Marchand gathering speed. Pastrnak for Marchand, who is in with a step to the net. Dragged down, and it's going to be a penalty shot for Brad Marchand.
Kyle Raymond with the call here.
Penalty shot has been awarded to 63 from Boston. Fouled behind, tripped on the breakaway, penalty shot.
That's about as intricate an explanation you could get. That really, the speed of Marchand coming across just caught Brody flat-footed. And after that, all reaching.
5 goals on 8 previous penalty shots. Marchand scores, and the game is tied. 4 goals in 4 games for Brad Marchand, and his 800th career point.
Now watch the freeze right here. See, he gets the goaltender to bite. As a player coming in, that speed that Marchand had, that fake right there, as soon as you've got the goaltender leaning and down, now he loses his balance, and just a calm move. Brody looks on in angst. And now the power play continues. So a 1-1 tie, and the Bruins still on the power play, but that was pretty silky moves there by number 63 in just his 4th game back in the lineup.
800 career points. This game 878, and he has just got better with age. He'll kick it back to Lindholm, and now one-timer blocked by Hall. Boy, Justin Hall blocks a lot on the penalty kill with so many of the big shooters on that side of the ice. Oh, puck goes through the blue, and Pasternak's got it. Got picked off by Brody, and he'll clear.
Well, it's a tough task, isn't it? You know, for Hall, that pass is coming across. He knows it's a one-timer, but he did an excellent job of getting down, taking away that shooting lane from Pastrnak.
David Pastrnak weaves in, nearly split the D. Now, fed back to the line, Lindholm. Zacha, back to Hampus Lindholm, and a great stick there by Kerfoot to bust that up. And now Giordano poked at it. Hall will follow back in for the Bruins. Under a half minute remaining in the power play, and the puck fired 200 feet by Giordano. Here's Matt Grzelcyk. Pavel Zacha, the former New Jersey Devil, gets it back from Grzelcyk, tracked there by Brody. Around for Nick Foligno. Grzelcyk at the line. Across, Krejci right on, and Samsonov holds on to that with 1 second left in the Tavares penalty.
Well, you know the importance of just trying to stop the bleeding after the one power play penalty shot. A couple of good pressure chances. We saw the block earlier by Hall, and this one just inside. Foligno's there if there's any rebound, but Samsonov able to look through the traffic and most importantly hold on to not give him anything.
So a face off to the left of Samsonov, leaves control. So Brad Marchand now tied with Mario Lemieux for second in penalty shot goals career-wise with 6. Pavel Bure, number 1, with 7.
Pretty good company there.
Puck along the boards, moved ahead. Nylander to work through center with Riley jumping over the line. Nylander, that ends up sticking to the glove of Linus Ullmark. Game tied on a penalty shot goal by Brad Marchand.
Celebrate the milestone. Now, we'll keep an eye on this. Marchand not on the bench right now for Boston, but Chris, I can't picture many other guys in the NHL that enjoys center stage in Toronto on Saturday night than Marchand.
Well, he is 5th now in goals in the league since the 15-16 season. I mean, he's in the company of Ovechkin, Matthews, Draisaitl, and McDavid. And he has a game-tying goal here, and keep an eye on what might have happened to him, why he's gone to the bench, or gone to the dressing room.
No surprise, the attention to detail by his captain.
Yep.
You know, a penalty shot, you don't grab the puck naturally, and all of a sudden you're looking around where to go. They got a new one, so of course Bergeron looking after his teammate and good friend, making sure you get that puck for nostalgia's sake.
So one milestone out of the way for Marchand, who told the guys in the pregame show that he was looking to break through penalty minutes and sitting on 899 penalty minutes. I don't think he was going to get to 1,000 tonight, though. Krejci wins the draw, back to the line. It bounced on Zaboral, but he does hold the zone. Along the boards for the veteran David Krejci. Played his junior hockey with Claude Giroux in Gatineau, and Giroux in the spotlight tonight, playing his old team. As Kerfoot sends it down into the Boston zone. Pasternak back to get it, but Tavares played it back, and it got by Liljegren, and the Leafs will have to reload at center.
Pretty neat that Giroux scored against his old team, first goal.
Kerfoot with a burst down that left side, now stops it up. Morgan Riley in, and a centering pass. Tavares had his stick lifted. Kerfoot trying to get it back, and does. Now Justin Hall will move up. Here's Hall looking to get it back to Kerfoot, but checked by Pasternak, who dumps it out to center. 8:40 gone, second period. Matthews in the first, Marchand here in the second. The game is tied. Calle Järnkrok trying to spin away from Coyle. It'll come back to Brody, and a glove stop by Ullmark. Well, which baker will rise to the top? Season 6 of the Great Canadian Baking Show continues tomorrow at 8 on CBC. Stream free on CBC Gem. Engvall to take this draw in the Boston zone, and from the scrum, the Bruins play it back inside the Leaf line.
And Charlie Coyle goes up in Marchand's spot, at least for now, so still down the hallway into the room is number 63.
Strange, because I don't know if he was on the ice after the penalty shot. Was he?
I believe he had one shift after, and then when they went to commercial, he went right down. Didn't look to be hobbling or anything, just made his way, keep an eye on the bench.
Clifton sets it up. That shot got through right on. Rebound loose in front. Looking for it is DeBrusk. And now a shot fired wide. Into the corner it goes, and the Leafs will try and get it organized. Justin Hall ahead. Through center. Onto the right side. Passes it to himself. Now around, and that's out of the reach of Simmons. Nosek to the line. Kept in by Sandin. And the Leafs start a change. Connor Clifton. That's deflected wide of the Leaf net. 10-10 left here in the second. Here's Jacob Zboril shooting. Samsonov got a piece of that. Zboril, a number 13 pick overall. Still looking for his first NHL goal.
You can see Justin Hall trapped out there, so important to get the puck out and allow him to get a change and not get trapped with an icing call, especially.
They get it deep off the stick of Aston Reese. Hall has gone to the bench. David Kemp sends it around behind the net. There's Aston Reese bumping with Mike Riley, and Aston Reese trying to jam it in there, and Ullmark able to hug the post. Good work here, stolen, and off the post by Mulligan. Close call for Dennis Mulligan, who's had some looks tonight. It's Matthews behind the net. Mulligan parks in front. A pass back for Marner is broken up, and now Morgan Riley's in deep. Marner in support, up with the puck. He'll play it back to the line. Giordano, Marner, shot blocked by Krejci, and away goes Hall. Taylor Hall streaking in, fires it wide, stick side. Pastrnak knocked off his stick by Matthews in front. Krejci robbed, and coming back defensively, Marner to maybe save a goal with Pastrnak on the doorstep. Nice stop by Samsonov as well. There's Marner to the net. Big rebound back to the point for Brody. In behind the cage, Bunting. Marner whipped it across. Pastrnak there for the Bruins, and off the skate and out as Bergeron tried to track it down. Marchand back on the ice as Michael Bunting sidestepped the hit. Gets it to Tavares. Up top, Brody calling for it. Liljegren fires right on a loose puck, and a diving stop there by Ullmark to cover up.
The game heats up a little bit. Mulligan, who's had a couple of great chances in this game. Quick little turnaround with traffic in front, goes up and over the glove, but off the post. Samsonov with his best save of the night with the glove to knock that one away.
Leafs trying to follow last year's script of big November. Is it too early to call this the first major four-pointer of the year?
I think so. When you've got a team as hot as Boston coming in, it's a great measuring stick for your hockey club. And for the Leafs coming off a great first game in November against Philadelphia, look what they did last year and just allowed them to get themselves safely into that number 2 spot. I think everybody's goal has been coming in, okay, you got to win this division. Well, it's been the Bruins that have rocketed to the top, and so this is a game that you sort of measure yourself against and don't want to allow the Bruins to get too far away.
Losing regulation, you're already 10 points back of Boston in the Atlantic Division race. Charlie Coyle, Trent Frederick, Pavel Zacha, third line for Jim Montgomery, out against Tavares, Nylander, and Kerfoot. Zacha feeds the point. Clifton looks for a shooting lane against Kerfoot. In behind the net. And Morgan Riley takes over. Nylander out at center. Last year, the Leafs won all 3 meetings, 16 goals, 9 by the core forward. Tavares just took a high stick, and he's been shaken up.
I think he got it from Nylander.
Yeah, I think it was Nylander's stick. And Tavares has made his way to the Leaf bench. And going off is Charlie Coyle. Didn't see that puck coming his way. Back it's Nylander in the shot blocked. A chance. Kerfoot spun, but fanned on it. Now Matthews out for Tavares. Justin Hall trying to send it deep, but that's broken up by Marchand. On to the left side, a nice pass for Bunting. He'll roll it in. Marner lost an edge there. DeBrusk moves it ahead, and it's Bergeron dumping it down, a race for it, but that's going to be icing against Boston.
Yeah, you can see John Tavares getting looked after there. Seems to be a little cut by his eye, and you never like getting hit, but it's always worse. A little trip here. Oh, man. So Tavares' stick trips his teammate, and then Nylander's stick goes right up and right by the eye. Still on the bench, got his helmet back on, looks like he's ready to go.
Friendly fire. Matthews digs in on the draw and wins it away from Bergeron. Harry Brody tied up by DeBrusk, but able to advance and draw a penalty. Leafs are going to get their first power play of the night. Samsonov a little late going to the bench, but now he's headed off, and Grzelcyk touches it. The penalty pending against Boston.
Wanna bet? You can do it at Canada's Sportsbook. Sports interaction, made for Canadians by Canadians.
Once again, just the importance of winning a draw, and what does it mean? You win the draw, you get puck control. Now you get the defenders rushing. DeBrusk loses body position there, and that reach in with the left hand into the stick of Brody is the call. But all of that because you're chasing the game after Matthews won that first draw.
Jim Montgomery's crew, number 2 in the league in face-off wins, but the Leafs have had an edge tonight, including that one by Tavares. Riley for Marner, Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander, the top group, and Matthews with an early chance. Marner gets it back, swings it out to the line, but nobody home, and they'll reload back inside the Leaf line. Here comes Nylander in, dashing in, cutting in. Nylander in front, scores! Austin Matthews from Nylander, and the Leafs lead.
What a great individual effort by William Nylander using his speed. Matthews, a couple of chances early on this power play. One before the puck goes back out. He wasn't able to get all that shot. A good stick effort defensively. But this is all about the wheels of Nylander. He gets 2 defensemen both reaching, and Carlo for just a second doesn't get the stick in position. How about that pass? Matthews right on that seam, stopped on the doorstep, didn't get too close. And Austin Matthews, his first multi-goal game of the season. Chris, that's a penalty kill that had gone 17 for 17, and the best in the National Hockey League. The Leafs get their first power play opportunity and put it in the back of the net.
And the Leafs now have power play goals in 5 consecutive games. Matthews had 15 multi-goal games last year, and as you mentioned, his first of this season. So the Leafs regain the lead and come up with the puck at center. Dennis Mulligan looking for Brody, who drew that penalty after his penalty led to the penalty shot goal by Marchand. Zaboral tied up after David Kampf. And off the boards, Mulligan gets it back to the line. Sandin returns it. Mulligan back, and it's Giordano right on. And a kick stop there by Ullmark, who may not have seen it all the way. Under 5 to go here in the second period. And the Bruins get rid of it to center. Taylor Hall will just play it inside the line and get a Boston change.
Matthews from Nylander and Marner.
Mitch Marner's got another multi-point game, his second assist after a pair of helpers against Philadelphia. So 13 points for Marner on the season. Grzelcyk unable to clear as Järnkrok was there. Now it's bumped ahead, and A.J. Greer over the Leaf line, hit by Sandin. Giordano moves it, but Zacha there for Boston. Picked up by Engvall. It's Zacha to the line. That shot hit Giordano in front. Moving up was Grzelcyk. Rasmus Sandin moves it. Järnkrok able to advance it. Engvall out at center. Leafs want to change. And Engvall hit Matthews coming over the boards.
Well, you look at the battle for space. I mean, coming out of the corner, getting to the front of the net has been a challenge at both sides. Really good battle there for Giordano to get to the front and, as you said, make the block on that one good chance by the Bruins.
Puck rolled back into the Leaf zone. Sandin back to get it. That hit a skate. Samsonov trying to help out. And DeBrusk knocked down side of the net, and Matthews away. Flipping it high in the air. Lindholm trying to glove it down. Marner looking for the loose puck, and out at center it's Marchand. Checked by Matthews. That, by the way, the 55th career 2-goal game for number 34. And 6 in his last 4 starts against Boston. Leafs are out, led by Tavares. Here's Tavares over the line, trying to cut in against Zamora. He stuck with him and helped turn it over. Out for Pasternak. Mike Riley's on the move. Slid through for Riley, and Morgan Riley broke it up. Now Tavares ahead. Nylander sidesteps a check. Gives it to Tavares, who whipped it wide, stick side. Back out at center for Pasternak. Kerfoot getting back. Trent Frederick ahead, but he's checked, and the Leafs will turn it. Nylander will dump it back in and start a Toronto change. Here's Grzelcyk with the indirect ahead for Zacha at the Leaf line. That's knocked off his stick. Grzelcyk for Krejci. And getting him. Boy, that was Camp, and it'll be shot in by Giordano. Gets past Camp and out to center, and TJ Brody will survey. Grzelcyk across, and now a lead feed for Taylor Hall, and Mark Giordano won't let him by. Hall ran over, but unable to get by him with the puck.
Giordano going back at Hall there. They go back and forth. They're still jawing as this puck's going up ice.
David Camp trying to work his way in. Giordano involved on Wednesday, his 18th career fight, and looked like he was inviting Hall for number 19. Riley across, Simmons right on. And a left pad stop by Ullmark. Bergeron flipping it to the near side. Liljegren there. Back in comes Engvall. Final minute, second period. Järnkrok right on. Engvall looking for the rebound. It comes back to Järnkrok. Engvall behind the net. Järnkrok after it in the corner. Back towards Engvall, who's bumping there behind the net with Connor Clifton.
Good read by Liljegren there. Got the eyes of Lindholm looking up ice, trying to get it to Marchand. Jumped in front, able to stop that pass.
Morgan Riley with a half minute to go in the period. Up at center ice. Nice take by Bunting. Michael Bunting shot, and that off the stick of Clifton. Right back to the line, and Hall there. In around for Matthews. 2 on the night, 1 in the crease, and that one sent back to the line. Brody for Hall. Austin Matthews right on rebound, and Bunting buried in front. And he's taken down on another penalty coming up against Boston.
Well, what a frenetic finish to this second period. You know, the game within the game. You love the little individual battles that go on time and time again. A couple of veteran guys. Great stand up there by Giordano. He doesn't like getting knocked down twice by Hall. back at him. Couple of jaws. Are you going to drop the gloves? No. More discussion than anything. And then the chances at one end, and you get running around in your own zone and can't clear the puck, which Boston wasn't able to twice, creates problems in front. And oh man, there's the Clifton cross-check right to Bunting. And so a power play that scored on the last time gets a quick 5 seconds here, and then if not anything out of this to start the third period.
So it'll be Tavares and Bergeron, the captains on this drop, won by Boston. And they'll clear it, and that'll do it. The second period, puck out of play, it won't do it. We'll get another face-off in the Boston zone.
And you see how low that Bergeron goes down there. He's having a bit of a unusual night for him. He was just 7 and 10. Well, that one 8 and 10 now as he won that draw. And see, now you get the righty in Nylander to try to go righty against righty. Get it back to Matthews quickly.
2.6 left, back-to-back face-off wins by Bergeron, and we are through 2. Shots were 15-7 Toronto in the second period. Marchand for Boston. Matthews with his second for the Leafs. Coming up in our second intermission, 32 Thoughts. 2-1 after 2 from Toronto on Hockey Night in Canada.
Thoughts in our second intermission presented by GMC and the new Sierra AT4X. As always, Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman. And obviously, men, we're following the story of Boston signing Mitchell Miller. This was Commissioner Gary Bettman overseas reacting.
Before the Bruins made the decision to sign him, we were not consulted. I happened to talk to Cam Neely since the time that he was signed. He's not coming into the NHL. He's not eligible at this point to come into the NHL. I can't tell you that he'll ever be eligible to come into the NHL. If, in fact, at some point they think they want him to play in the NHL, and I'm not sure that they're anywhere close to that point, we're going to have to clear him and his eligibility.
Okay, so a lot of people, I think, feel the same way that the commissioner sounded today. I heard a lot of why would they do this? There's a lot of talk about hockey culture, diversity inclusion report that was just shown at the Board of Governors meeting. Why would they do this? It wasn't necessary in a lot of people's eyes, and it was challenging to them when they're trying to have these kinds of honest conversations with some of the fans or people in their different markets. So I don't think anybody was surprised to see the commissioner react that way. I do think Boston at one point indicated it was likely they would sign Miller, but there's, I guess, a big difference between likely signing him and actually doing it. And it's very clear that even though the NHLPA has objected tonight to say that Miller is not suspended in any way, shape, or form, the commissioner is not going to make this road easy for Miller to play in the NHL when he's ready.
Now, with Miller scheduled to report to AHL Providence today, Ron, Elliott, I reached out to AHL President Scott Housen. He says he plans to meet with Miller this week in Providence. I believe that's going to be Thursday. And here's what he told me about the meeting. Quote, I need to meet with him to find out information from him firsthand. I only know what has been said through the media or anecdotally. This will begin the process of me finding out what he has learned, what he has been doing to improve as a person, and what he will continue to do to make himself a better person. I will decide next steps after I meet with him, Elliot.
You know, one of the other things a lot of people have been wondering is kind of how did this all start? And a couple of months ago, right around the beginning of September, Miller's new agent, Eustace King, set a package around to teams. And there were some teams who were interested. There were other teams who said no way. From what I understand, Boston brought him to the city a couple of times. He stayed there for a week. And that was kind of the way they got to know him. Now, I do understand, and I think everybody looks at this, Ron, and says, the fact that the Bruins did not contact the family directly and didn't do that is a big sticking point for them and something that I think a lot of people are never going to be able to get past.
Great. Thank you for that. Bo Horvat, Jeff.
Okay, he's one of the hottest players in the NHL. In his last 3 games, he's had multi-goal games. Only Petri Skriko and Alex McGillney have done that before for the Vancouver Canucks. And, you know, also 10 of Vancouver's 38 goals this season have been scored by the captain, Bo Horvat. and he's on an expiring deal. And there's been no moving of the needle whatsoever in the contract talks. And Ron, I think people are starting to get really curious here when the Vancouver Canucks will decide on his fate, either in Vancouver or elsewhere.
Ottawa Senators, Sale?
All right, the nation's capital. There are a lot of people abuzz there. They're playing tonight with the news of what could potentially happen to the team. I think it's too early to say who the new ownership group will be, but the expectation is things there will heat up around American Thanksgiving or just after, and they'll start to really get that process seriously moving. Also, New Jersey playing late tonight against Calgary. Unfortunately, Mackenzie Blackwood was hurt the other night in the game against Edmonton. I think the Devils are waiting until they get back home early next week to figure out the extent of the damage. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it looked.
And a final note, Hockey Canada.
Really quickly, yeah, deadline for board applications comes up this Thursday. On Friday, the official vetting of those applicants will begin. And one interesting note here as well, Ron, they've discussed putting together an advisory panel, or maybe I consider it a subcommittee, that will advise this new board, considering this new board will only serve for a one-year term. Pretty crucial to get everyone up to speed as quickly as possible.
Jeff, I always mention the radio show, Ken Danico talking about John Marino, and he went out and feathered the past Jesper Bratt for an unbelievable game-winning goal against the Oilers. Wasn't he great? So Marino, that was a scoop that you got from Kenny Danico. We'll see New Jersey at Calgary and Nashville. Zach Sanford, you see his shot blocks. More on that topic coming up.
Boway is excited to introduce our newest rice bowl.
Wait, where did you get the jacket?
Come on, this whole thing? Packed with rice, bacon, and crispy seasoned chicken. Only available at Boway.
Subway?
Boway by Scotty.
Hot.
Subway, eat fresh, refresh.
Be a part of the action with the BetRivers Sportsbook app. Score big with same-game parlays, where you can combine the excitement of different bets, all from the same game. Like the money line, check. Puck line, check. And player props, check. Plus, with fast payments including Interac e-Transfer, you'll never miss a shift. Download the BetRivers Sportsbook app on iOS and Android. BetRivers Sportsbook, it's a whole new game.
Sorry, Mom. It's amazing what you can build on AWS. Imagine creating cool tech so you can watch every shot anywhere you want, or make news personalized, and learn about how to make my allowance go a long way. And watch your favorite team from the other side of the world. Just imagine what they could do when I'm in charge.
With Kevin, Jennifer, and Kelly now to talk about our three games beginning in Toronto, Kevin.
So Austin Matthews on the power play. When you go out for the power play before the puck is dropped, there's a plan in place. You know what your first or second option is. And then after that, it becomes more of a read and react to what the penalty kill is doing. So you see right here, when they move this puck around, he's looking for that one-timer in the soft spot. But Coyle reads that, so he's going to dart into a new spot. So Coyle's taking that away. He darts into a new spot. He takes that. And then we're going to see Nylander get this puck in the neutral zone. It's kind of like a tight end in a zone coverage, right? As soon as Lindholm chases behind the net, he sits in that little pocket where Lindholm just left. And there's a beautiful pass by Nylander. So like a zone coverage in football, I love football, guys. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah. As soon as the defender moves, you take his space, you sit in there. Smart play by Matthews.
Very much so. And in Montreal, you know that St. Louis is going to have high expectations for his team in terms of effort. And if you look at tonight, block shots. Here's an example. Dvorak in the first goes down, needs a little helping hand there from Savard. And then later in the game, it's Gouli that's going down, had some great smart plays with the puck. And then all of them sort of took a moment on the bench. But all three guys, Slafkovsky here takes it down. They go to the bench, recover. All three guys have stayed in the game. But Savard sort of set the tone. Savard is second overall in the NHL for most shot blocks. So for these guys, making the right decision, making the right plays to make sure that you're involved in the game, doing what's best for the team.
And in Ottawa, great game too. 2-1 Philadelphia after two. Brady Tkachuk, what more can the Senators ask from this player all season long? He has really stepped up. Here's the opening face-off at the top of the picture. That's Zach McEwen. He wants to go with Brady Tkachuk. Of course, that's not going to happen. Brady's too good a player right there to get involved in that. Watch his strength here. He's going to battle two players and comes up with the puck. Then he's going to get involved with Sanheim in front. This is a great one because this is a battle that lasted a little bit. And then unfortunately for the Flyers, it's Sanheim that takes a penalty, and he goes to the penalty box. They're chirping a little bit. Sanheim is like, how in the world did I get a penalty? What did I do that Brady didn't do? And then it continues on. Here's the start of the second period. He's chirping with DeAngelo. Look at the referee, Kelly Sutherland. He's listening in, trying to pick his spots as well. So it's a great battle tonight in Ottawa.
Tiz, thanks. We'll come right back with our 3 early games. The third periods are on deck. Chris and Craig. We have John and Sam. We have Mike and Gary on Hockey Night in Canada. Right after the break.
Super Series stream-free Sunday on CBC Gem before the third period. Kyle spoke with Sheldon Keefe.
Sheldon, Boston's been a very dangerous team off the rush so far this season, but what have you liked about your team's tempo through 2 periods tonight?
Yeah, we've had really good legs coming back to our end. We've had three for sure, if not 4 and 5 people all the way, on our half of the red line as they're approaching the attacking zone. So our D gaps are good, sticks are good, and we managed the puck well too. But obviously that's going to have to continue all the way through this one.
Okay, Sheldon, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris.
Well, the plot thickens, Craig. We've got Eric Kallgren in goal to start the third period. No word on Ilya Samsonov as the Leafs start the third on the power play.
Well, yeah, that is quite a shock there and a tough position for Kallgren to come in. But obviously, long term, you think of Murray still injured, and now Samsonov, who made a couple great saves in that period, is still in the room. So, as Sheldon was saying, trying to play good defensive hockey, they're going to need to try to protect their goalie and allow him to get settled into this third period.
Well, that'll be underscored here in the third as Kallgren in relief. Leafs on the power play. Scored on their first man advantage of the game. Nosek trying to clear for Boston. Brandon Carlo along the boards. Tavares gets on it. Met there by Lindholm. And now a chance to clear, and Charlie Coyle can't get it past Riley. Leafs will reset, and Coyle steals. Riley trying to get back as Coyle moves in and overskeets the puck. Austin Matthews back the other way. Both Leaf goals for number 34. Got it to Marner. Down low, Nylander. Tavares goes to the front. Marner up top, gets it back from Sandin. A bumper pass, and Tavares shot that high on the nice feed by Nylander. Now into the skeets of Matthews. Clearing attempt hit Coyle, and on the second try, Nosek gets it down.
Boy, Tavares is frustrated with himself there. He did a good job of getting down on one knee to try to get a little extra power up high, and just sort of sailed away from him there as he got a hold of it.
Leafs second unit comes on. Michael Bunting goes to the front, knocked off his stick. Sandin saves it at the line. And now DeBrusk swings it out. Couple dozen seconds remaining in this power play as Sandin works back in. Onto the right side. A pass in front for Kerfoot. Stick lifted by Riley. Bunting moves up, tries to feed it into the slot. And that's intercepted by Riley. And from long range, he'll test Kallgren for the first time in the game. Dennis Mulligan in his 200th NHL game. One shot on the power play. Sandin tripped, and the Leafs are going to go right back to the power play.
You know, that was a play there by Sandin. The Leafs hadn't made their change yet, so they only had one defenseman on the ice because of the power play. And he just curled back to allow Brody to change, and that created the hooking call as he came out the other side. Good job of using the net as a bit of a guide.
So the Leafs had the extra attacker on, trying to extend the manpower advantage. And now Nylander gets them pointed in the right direction. Up ahead it goes to Marner, knocked off his stick, but following up, the Leafs are in. Tavares teeing it up for Nylander. Mitch Marner up top. Calle Järnkrok rink wide, and that skips on Nylander, but now he's got control. Marner again, great pass, Kerfoot. Back to Marner. One-time shot, and it's blistered wide. And it boomerangs back into the Leaf zone.
Boy, Matthews' eyes were wide there. He had a great opportunity. Tried to go far side off the post on that blocker side and didn't quite get the sight set. You know, this is a play defensemen use so often behind the net, to use the net as a screen and a bit of a shield to cut it off quickly. Watch Sandin, how useful he does. He gets right close to the point, to the post, and that creates chance there. Let's go down to Kyle and see what's up with the Maple Leafs goaltender.
Well, you see Källgren there in net, Craig. Samsonov's night is done. The Leafs are calling it a knee injury. Here's another look at the Marchand penalty shot goal. You see Samsonov get twisted there. No sense speculating if that had anything to do with the reason why he is no longer in the game. But Matt Murray been on the ice a couple times this week. He, though, too, still a ways away from a return, Chris.
Well, you can hear some alarm bells, kids. Yeah. Boy, worst case scenario, Marner with a shot that gets through. Morgan Riley sends it deep for Nylander. Back for Riley, but cut off by Bergeron. And he'll start back with Coyle. Jumping up is Brandon Carlo. In front for Carlo, and it skipped over his stick. And the Leafs will turn. 1 for 2 in the game on the power play as Matthews swoops in. Back for Tavares. Backhand stopped. And it's cleared by Bergeron.
Boy, the rebound was there, but the spin around by Tavares, he couldn't find the puck. And just reaching on that one, trying to take it hard to the net.
Here comes Riley. On his own as he sends it around to Nylander. Now back this way for Tavares. Bumped along the boards by DeBrusk, but Tavares stays with it. Back to Matthews and Riley. DeBrusk and Nosek, the penalty killers for Boston. Nylander edging in. Gets it back from Järnkrok, who parks in front. Here's Matthews up high, and that's knocked off his stick, and the Leafs have turned back, and Matthews heads to the bench.
Yeah, Riley, just that puck into the skates, a really good read by Nosek there, knowing that not an easy pickup for Matthews. He got at him and turned the puck over.
Alex Kerfoot hot puts it in. Dennis Morgan back to Sandin, returns to Morgan. Down low for Bunting and back. Morgan tried to get it back to the line and broken up by Marchand, and now fumbled, and Sandin's got to reload back at center. Chased back by Marchand, and time running out on this third Leaf power play, second of this third period. And the period just over 5 minutes old. Alex Kerfoot in, tracked by Coyle. Zacha's returned to the ice, and that's swatted through the blue paint. And back the other way with some speed as Pavel Zacha looks across ice. A shot off the post. Rebound loose in front. David Pastrnak brings it up.
Chris, I was going to say, there's 4 minutes of power play time that allowed Källgren to just ease into this period and not really be tested. As soon as that second power play was over, off from the bench came Pastrnak to create that chance.
And right back to the attack, David Pastrnak. Ball was tied up in front by Liljegren. Hall sends it to the far side. David Krejci's on it. Liljegren there for the Leafs. Help from Camp, and now Toronto gets control. TJ Brodie pass knocked down, and on the second try rolls it in, and Mike Riley back to get it for Boston. David Krejci ahead, and here's Taylor Hall working his way in off the glove of Källgren. On Thursday night, the Bruins outshot the New York Rangers 17-4 in the third period in their building as they went one going away. Marner gets things organized. Morgan Riley now. Deflected in by Matthews. Carlo with the shoulder check. Up the boards for Zacha. He's checked by Marner. DeBrusk will work it ahead. Here's Coyle. Outside on Sandin, who recovers to knock it off his stick. Charlie Coyle. Pass broken up, and Marner flipping it high, looking for Michael Bunting, and Brandon Carlo got back there defensively. Pavel Zacha back to Lindholm, and the Leafs want to change. Up ahead it goes, and it's A.J. Greer. Brodie knocked it off his stick. Ball for William Nylander, who made the play to set up the go-ahead goal for the Leafs. Lead feed for Greer and Frederick. Crash line out for Boston. John Tavares sidestepped the hit from Foligno, and neatly the Leafs work it out.
You listen to the discussion down there. Great call by Brody, knowing that he's an outlet, gives his man the opportunity to just dish it off and get out of trouble.
Both teams changing, lots of time for Riley, and now ahead for Engvall. Turns it back and nearly turned it over. Simmons will fire it down into the Boston zone. Out of the net comes Ullmark. The brush pass hit a skate, comes back in. Wayne Simmons right on, and that will stick to Ullmark. 8:18 gone here in the third period, and a chance for David Pastrnak to tie the game.
Kallgren, just 2 shots faced so far this period, but 1 attempt you just saw go off the post by Pastrnak. Here's a look at the difference in the numbers between Samsonov and the Kallgren-Murray combo in the early days of this season. And the thing is, as we await to know the prognosis on Samsonov, I mean, they play tomorrow night, 5 Eastern in Raleigh, again here at home Tuesday, so they don't really have any time to buy it here, Chris.
And they have to run the gauntlet. Boston, Carolina, Vegas. They're the 3 best teams in the early going.
And again, back-to-back next weekend as well, Friday and Saturday night. Not an easy stretch of the schedule by any stretch.
Pittsburgh and Vancouver next week. Here's Bergeron flipping it in. And a penalty coming up against Toronto, so Erik Källgren's going to face the Boston power play. And John Tavares off again.
Desjardins Financial Group, a proud part of communities, a proud fan of hockey wherever it's played.
You know, Tavares has Marchand trapped the whole way, tracking him back, and he just gives a little bit of a swat, and the immediate reaction from Tavares was a dive, and I think that was the reaction as well. You know, the Bruins, the importance of winning this draw. Bergeron digs in, tries to keep the possession in the offensive zone.
Second power play of the night for Boston, and a chance. And nice recovery there by Brody, knocking it off the stick of Marchand. David Pastrnak down low. Hall was sprawling to deny a centering pass, and now it's TJ Brody along the boards, and he'll fire it back into the Boston zone.
Really good read by Hall there. You know that it's looking for Pastrnak on the back door, and he just took it away by going down and forced a pass that went back into traffic and was easy to pick off.
Pastrnak, a couple of power play goals so far this season. Centering pass there. Järnkrok gets his stick on that. Breaks it up, and it gets past Bergeron and out. Some nice work by Calle Järnkrok. 50 seconds gone on the power play. Lindholm. Pastrnak couldn't control, and that's turned back by Giordano.
Yeah, the entry just so critical, and just a good job of staying aggressive at the line, forcing to try to make an entry with bodies in the way. And it's happened a couple times now that Boston unable to make the quick pass through.
Taylor Hall gains access to the Leaf zone, but turns it over. Marner fanned on a flip out and tries to battle back to get it again. And David can't, and Marner will work it out. Half-minute left in the Bruin power play. Their goal tonight, a penalty shot goal by Brad Marchand. Taylor Hall to work, the former MVP. Sends it in. Justin Hall wraps it around, and that will slide 200 feet. Final 10 seconds of the penalty to Tavares. Here comes Grzelcyk. Racing down into the Leaf zone, couldn't get it in front. There's Connor Clifton, who looked over his shoulder, anticipating Tavares out of the box. No shots for the Bruins on that power play, and away goes Tavares. He's got Engvall with him. Engvall trying to hook it back towards Tavares, and that didn't work. Tavares up with it, a centering play, and Clifton there to knock it back out to center.
Boy, a motivated Tavares there. After sitting for 2 minutes and watching that, he had some jump in his legs as he finally got a hold of the puck after he got out of the box.
He's looked a little quicker this year, and I'm not sure he looked any faster than that bolt into the Bruin zone. There's DeBrusk trying to get a shot through, unable to get it past Sandin, and there's going to be another leap penalty as Sandin took DeBrusk heavily into the end boards. So the Leafs got 2 straight power plays, and now Boston will get 2 in a row.
Foul number 38, 2 minutes for boarding.
Jim Young on this Hockey Fights Cancer night. 8.5 minutes to go. Boston back on the power play, looking for the equalizer and a face-off win. Marchand down low. There's DeBrusk who drew the penalty. Rasmus Sandin for boarding. Marchand challenged. Bergeron into the corner for DeBrusk, and he gets bumped along the wall by Hall. It gets played loose, back to the line, and now Marchand. Lindholm and a one-timer blocked by Hall. Now a cross-ice pass. Brody got a stick on it. Camp gets a stick on it. And Lindholm has to recalculate at center. Right back in. Pastrnak slip move. And then he got hooked. He looks at both officials, and play continues. And Pastrnak was anticipating a call there.
He had 5-on-3 on his mind, didn't he? What an incredible play, though. Hands and a little curl and drag found his way through.
Lindholm and Bergeron up top, and here's Pastrnak. Lindholm at the line, challenged by Camp. There's a shot by Bergeron that didn't miss by much, and that's Bergeron's spot. Marner gets it clear.
I think he got the shot he wanted. Actually, Jake DeBrusk deflected it. He might have deflected it up and wide. It might have been beating the goaltender, but got a little break there as DeBrusk tried to get a piece of it, and he did.
In a game last year, Bergeron a hat trick, and all 3 were from almost the identical spot. Up high, Grzelcyk challenged by Järnkrok. Riley in the vicinity. Riley tumbles over Hall. Pavel Zacha twists and turns. Krejci on the near side. Riley knocks down Foligno. Comes up with a puck, can't clear. Krejci with a steal. Holds in front, a block there. Another block on Foligno. Great stuff from Mark Giordano, but it's not done. Here's Foligno again. Penalty over. Has the shot right on, and Shalgren kicked that away. Hall, glove stop. Shalgren with Foligno on the doorstep.
Well, fans react to just almost 2 minutes of offensive zone time and just some great individual defensive effort. Here's the no call. How about this move? The backhand pull back in, and we've seen that go with an arm up so often. Pastrnak doesn't get it, and Giordano, as he's done all season long, that time didn't get it with his leg, but did with his stick. Other pressure, good solid pressure in front. Now you got a bunch of gas players, and it's up to Shalgren to make the save. He got the rebound to one side and then able to hold on and get a change. That was a tired bunch of penalty killers that did a pretty good job of keeping everything to the outside.
Third block shot of the game for Giordano, 24 on the year. Liljegren now challenging against Coyle, unable to work it out to center ice. Matthews back out there after back-to-back Boston power plays that kept him on the bench.
Nylander got drilled by Frederic, and he thought there should have been a penalty. He came right back at him and gave him a shot afterwards.
There's Frederic over the line, and now Coyle passes across. Riley from a bad angle, and that'll ricochet back to the line, kept in by Clifton. 5:35 left in the third. Timothy Liljegren pounded, but able to work that ahead, and Off the stick of Nylander to make sure it didn't reach a Bruins stick. 28-18, the shots on goal in favor of the Leafs. Sent down the ice by Järnkrok. It gets past Engvall. And the Bruins will start back. Carlo will play it in. Justin Hall hit along the boards by Pasternak. Five-man board battle. Brodie right in the middle of it. He falls and it comes loose for Bergeron. Pasternak and Marchand, the perfection line put back out here by Jim Montgomery. We've seen that on a couple of occasions tonight.
Did you see Tavares with his arms in the air? He didn't want Marchand to draw another penalty, and he felt that he was trying to be pretty animated going to the net to make sure no call was made against him.
DeBrusk, centering pass, hit a skate. David Kampf around to the far side. Aston Reese has a little time to flip it out to center. And DeBrusk works it back into his own zone. Jake DeBrusk drops it in off the stick of Paul. Morgan Riley for Brodie. Taylor Hall is there to bottle that up. And we're down to 4 minutes remaining in the third as the puck slides out. Racing for it is Morgan, and Lindholm able to get there first. And look at Morgan get back and bump ball. Now Matthews unable to reel it back in. Grzelcyk rink wide, cut off by Matthews. Back in comes Marner, a backhand, and that's off the stick, weak and wide. Michael Bunting after it against Foligno, and David Krejci starts out. Bunting trying to pick his pocket, and Mitch Marner will play it back inside the Boston zone. Under 3.5 left. It remains a 1-goal Leaf lead. Here's Grzelcyk working inside the line. Charlie Coyle's got it right at the line. Morgan Riley works it along the boards for Marner. Disrupted by Krejci. Brandon Carlo drifts it wide. Mike Riley moves up. He'll try and play that sharp angle shot off the shoulder of Källgren, and it's Bunting off the glass and out. Bruins send it back in as they pressure for the game-tying goal. Marner drops it off to Tavares. Checked at center by Marchand and played back in by Boston. Here's Brodie taken to the end boards by Marchand. Puck loose, and a shot by Pasternak blocked. The 88s block up again, and here's a breakaway pass, and it was Pasternak with a great play to lay out and get a stick on that. Nylander might have been in home free. Here's DeBrusk, won't be long until Ullmark leads the net now. Hall swooping in, centering pass, missed a stick. Lindholm advances right on. That's off Källgren. David Kampf trying to clear it. Gets some help from Riley. And now Engvall and Nylander will send it out. Nylander shooting it in. And that will ricochet right into the glove of Linus Ullmark.
Stay connected on the Rogers 5G network with a plan that fits your needs. Stream all the sports and content you want worry-free. Visit Rogers.com for details.
Sunday night primetime kicks off with Heartland, followed by the Great Canadian Baking Show and Moonshine tomorrow at 7 on CBC.
Well, after a special team-filled start to this period, a good little bit of 5-on-5. You can see all the desperate plays trying to get the puck to the net, trying to desperately get it out on both sides. And it's been a hard-fought battle right from the start, and no surprise, it's a tight game going down to the wire.
Erik Källgren trying to lock it down in relief of Ilya Samsonov, but still a minute 49 to go, and it won't be long until Linus Ullmark goes to the bench for the extra attacker. Kampf on the draw, but Bergeron wins it for Boston. Riley and Grzelcyk will work it ahead, and now Riley to the bench, and Taylor Hall comes on. So 4 forwards and a defenseman at the moment for Boston as it's flipped back out to center. Ullmark's got to stay in.
Yeah, that's such a key play not to get the entry, and it keeps Ullmark in his net, just continually killing time.
Charlie Coyle in now, leaned on by Hall. Ullmark's gone to the bench for the extra attacker. Marchand's got it. Down low, Hall swivels it across and missed that far post. Back to the line, Riley, able to keep it alive for Brad Marchand. And now a pass in front cut off by Camp in the final minute. Bergeron gets it back. Stick comes out of the hands of Brody. Marchand from the corner. Back to Riley. Pastrnak looks for a shooting lane. Charlie Coyle. 2 Bruins parked in front. It's back to Coyle. Coyle sifting it through, deflected wide. Here's Riley again. Taylor Hall behind the net. Bergeron in front. Brody takes it away from Hall. Marchand back to the line. Riley incoming, deflected wide. Yardbrooks on it. Here's Justin Hall behind the net. Taylor Hall working it in front. Mike Riley firing it. Rebound, and it went through the skates of Marchand. Back to Riley. Dying seconds. Pastrnak shot rejected. David Kamp's on it. Up ahead. And the Leafs will hold on. And they measure it up tonight. And they hand Boston its second loss of the year. 2-1 the final as the Leafs win their 5th in 6 home games. Erik Källgren in relief. Now let's head to Montreal for the end of the Canadiens in Vegas.
Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. And the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments.